Russia is a country that always believes in showing off their superior military powers in the most flashiest of ways. Easily one of the strongest military nations in the world right now, helmed by Vladimir Putin, they believe in upholding their national pride by constantly developing military technologies to keep their borders safe and international respect intact. It looks like they are being successful in their efforts, because a recent video released by the Russian Defense Military suggests the creation of a possible doomsday weapon that can easily spread fear and terror all across the world in an instant. Now, we know that Russia has the second largest military in the world, with the fourth highest budget. How and where they allocate it is kept under wraps for the rest of the world. Putin's Russia keeps their deadly military tech as treasured secrets and only reveals when the weapon is performing at its best. This could be a sly tactic to let the other countries constantly reel under the threat of a Russian military insurgence, because no one will really know what to expect or how to counteract it when it happens. Known to be developing some of the sneakiest yet innovative military weapons that could bring civilizations crumbling down, the Russian state media mistakenly slipped up the news of their new doomsday weapon, which can reportedly create artificial tsunamis and nuclear storms. And the recent video footage reveals that the Defense Department is already testing it in the Arctic Ocean, where the country is gradually setting up a strong army base. Experts are even predicting that once this weapon is deployed, it could graze multiple US coast cities and towns in one go, with a power that is 133 times stronger than that of the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the climax of the Second World War. So, what is Putin's new mass destruction weapon? The underwater nuke, capable of bringing apocalyptic radioactive tsunamis to wipe out millions of people, goes by the codename Status 6 and is known in the media as Poseidon 2M39 torpedo. It is an unmanned, automated underwater vehicle equipped with a nuclear warhead capable of evading most shore-based defenses. First announced by Russian President Vladimir Putin in 2018, it is one of the 6 new strategic weapons currently in development. The Poseidon in particular is at its advanced stages of development, which has prompted the Russian military to test its efficacy in the cold Arctic waters. Russian media published a video of the weapon, which seems to show its weapon being deployed by several soldiers aboard a submarine. The strange green waves in the aftermath of the explosion set quite the apocalyptic mood. The nuke resembles a tiny submarine, and it may be deployed to discourage enemy bases and naval units with nuclear weapons. Its launch and operation are similar to those of a sophisticated nuclear-armed torpedo, with a speculated blast yield of 2 to 100 megatons. Moreover, it also comes with the ability to deploy more conventional payloads. The weapon is believed to travel slowly and deep underwater, but it has the ability to increase its pace if it is discovered. According to early reports, the nuclear-powered Poseidon seems to look like a gigantic torpedo, or a big, uncrewed submarine which is 6.5 feet broad and 65 feet long, and can reach speeds of up to 70 knots. Nuclear power further extends the torpedo's range, and experts think the Poseidon can deliver its payload across the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans on its own. Exactly how dangerous is this weapon? According to Russian authorities, the torpedo can carry a nuclear warhead weighing several megatons and is capable of generating radioactive waves sufficient to render vast sections of a target shoreline hazardous to human life for decades. Radioactive water would also have severe environmental effects, destroying habitats for a wide range of animals. Long story short, this is indeed a lethal doomsday weapon. According to early reports, the Poseidon was equipped with a 100 megaton thermonuclear warhead, which would be twice as strong as Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated. However, recent estimations have reduced Poseidon's payload to a relatively insignificant 2 megatons. Although it is unlikely to cause a radioactive tsunami, it is nevertheless strong enough to do significant damage to a coastal target. To understand the scale, Try to wrap your mind around this fact. The atomic bomb detonated on Hiroshima was only 15 kilotons, and 2 megatons is the equal of 2,000 kilotons, where 1 kiloton is the equivalent of 1,000 tons of TNT. Now, do you get how explosive the damage can be? According to some sources, the Poseidon could potentially be launched from the sea floor or a mobile location. The sea floor option, known as skiff, can make the equipment wait on the seabed in a dedicated container for as long as required. Sounds like a futuristic weapon from an anime, right? Wake up, world. This is Putin's way of announcing that Russia is a formidable military force to reckon with. Far from a paper tiger, which the general public and the world have assumed the concept to be when it was first announced, the weapon is very real and rapidly taking shape. Norway's head of intelligence, Vice Admiral Nils Andreas Stensones, said his agency considers the Poseidon as part of the new type of nuclear deterrent weapons, and it is in a testing phase. But it's a strategic system, and it's aimed at targets, and has an influence far beyond the region in which they test it currently. As reported by CNN, Poseidon was referenced in an article published by H.I. Sutton for Forbes in November 2019, where he said that it was one of the most disruptive weapons currently being developed. It is also one of the least well understood. Christopher A. Ford, a former Assistant Secretary of State for International Security and Non-Proliferation, previously told CNN that the torpedo is being designed to inundate U.S. coastal cities with radioactive tsunamis. Against the backdrop of Russia's massive military buildup and testing of its newest weaponry in the Arctic, the United States seems to be quite worried about what analysts refer to as the Russian superweapon. Katarzyna Zisk, an international relations professor of Norway's Institute for Defense Studies, said to CNN that it is absolutely a project that will be used to scare as a negotiation card in the future, perhaps in arms control talks, but in order to do so, it has to be credible. This seems to be real. So it is safe to assume that people around the world are waking up to the possible military threat that Russia is going to be in the near future, especially USA, the country that still shares a bittersweet relationship with Russia, coded with subliminal competition even in the 21st century. So, what's next in the cards for Poseidon? By the time you see this video, Vladimir Putin will already be demanding a status report on the key stage update of Poseidon from Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. After all, this is a project which is being developed under his keen eyes by Rubin Design Bureau. According to reports, Russia is developing 30 Poseidon torpedoes that will be deployed on 4 specially equipped submarine warships. 2 submarines will allegedly serve with the Northern Fleet, which is based in the Atlantic, and 2 others with the Pacific Fleet. The Project 09852 Oscar-class submarine Belgorod and the Project 09851 Khabarovsk submarines, both new boats deployed in 2019 and 2020, are said to be the ones tasked with carrying the torpedo. Submarine warships of the Oscar class could carry 4 Poseidon torpedoes at once, with a combined yield of up to 400 megatons. It's suspected that they are being tested aboard the Russian auxiliary vessel Zvezdochka 600, Project 20180, which has ice-breaking capabilities. As a result, it's likely that the same ship might be used to launch and retrieve a seabed-based version of the underwater nuke. Maxar, a space technology firm, captured satellite pictures that show a clear and ongoing buildup of Russian military stations and equipment around the country's Arctic coastline, as well as subterranean storage bunkers that are anticipated to store Poseidon and other sophisticated weapons. MiG-31BM aircraft, bombers, and improved radar systems close to the Alaskan shore are among the other things in Russia's high north region. While some dismissed the Poseidon as a myth or a bluff at first, it's obvious today that Russia is completely serious about using this catastrophic weapon. Will the nation eventually construct 30 torpedoes and the 4 submarines required to transport them? What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give a big thumbs up if you have liked this video. Share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest news around the world about military technology.